Hello there gamers, I am Cohock, I play Salmon Run a lot and this is our new rotation here. Just get straight to the weapon tutorials and then talk a bit about the rotation as a whole. Tri-Slosher is a lightweight slosher that has the same damage numbers as the vanilla slosher, 100 per shot. But the fire rate is a lot faster, which puts it at 250 single target DPS. But what you primarily want to be doing is multi-targets. Before we're getting to that, here's the paint pattern. It doesn't quite have perfect coverage, but it has coverage for sure. To show some wall paint here. And also it's fast, of course. This is certainly fast. Alright. And ink efficiency is also a little bit better than the vanilla slosher. Not by much though, but whenever you throw a bomb, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and fire 7 shots more after that. Which should hopefully be enough to get you out of whatever situation you're in and into somewhere where you can refill. Again, since the fire rate is faster, you also get to refilling faster when just a shot and stuff like that. The mobility with this is good as well. Alright, so you can of course hit multiple targets. You have a really big hitbox, middling range. A bit shorter than Splattershot, not by much. Yeah, prioritize crowds of lessers for the most part. Quite literally, you just like watch spawns and attack the lessers of every group before they're getting anywhere near your teammates. Then you're probably doing a fine job with this already. And of course you can also kill whatever Ray boss might be getting on your way at that same time. Of course will be slow because just 250 DPS. It can be done still if it has to. Last thing I should say about the mechanics here is this is the only slosher in Salmon Run that has fall off. 100 here, 100 here. But if I jump now, we will not deal 100 anymore. There's also this here with these small frays. I do not know why, even when firing directly at them, I'm not dealing 100. If that is something with the pellets, I mean, the numbers are way too high for that, so probably not. Oh, well, that wasn't 100 anymore either. Probably not because... Ah, yeah. That should not be 100 and... Oh. So that was direct apparently. Let's try again. But yeah, anyway, the gist of this is this weapon has fall off, so try to be the same level. Or only very slightly above, but not as high as this here or even higher. I mean, this is just barely okay, I guess. Yeah, if it's even higher, then you will need 2 shots. Rinse of Arc Polaris comes to mind here on high tide. I guess also a normal tide with approaching lessers. Those would not take the full 100 damage when you're up where the basket is. That level. Not the end of the world, just flash twice. Something worth knowing. Been invited to play. Well, not now. Let's talk about bosses then. This matchup, well, it's not great or anything. It's doable. Roughly this is your range and you do wanna ideally be firing like straight at it. Like you don't wanna look too high up. See, I'm aiming directly at it and hit it. If I like aim up this high, then I might not be hitting it anymore, as shown here. So yeah, look more ahead than up ideally. Like only if you are really close, then you wanna aim high because otherwise you would be hitting the steelhead's shield. If you are not super close, then just look forward. Only slightly up and hit it. The other bosses, I mean, easy to know how often you hit them because they're dealing exactly 100 damage. This 1 cycle is pretty much frame perfect with main weapon only. Can be made a little bit less tight if you throw a bomb before that. However, that is Like you do need to time the bomb so that it actually hits it once it's open, and you do need to refill a bit of ink in between. Otherwise you're not gonna be able to fire enough shots, and yeah, but that would be the Drizzler 1 second. Then Big Shot, of course, 12 shots. You can hit multiple of them at the same time, that's of course nice. Just a single one. Ideally someone else deals with it, honestly. If you're there, then sure, whatever. Speaking of multiple, of course with Cohocks. Cohocks do take a while as well with their 400 HP to kill. Usually there are multiple of them. What you then wanna do is shoot above them instead of straight at them. By doing that you should usually hit like all of them or most of them, and that can speed up killing those as well as all the other smaller lessers around them drastically. Fire above enemies instead of straight at them. You wanna hit multiple. That is pretty much this thing works. I have read fish sticks. Let's talk about fish sticks. I believe you can not really hit them from the ground. You do need some kind of high ground, and if you do not have that, then you need to climb them, and then you can experiment with like horizontal sloshes. You can also just do this. It's only slightly moving clockwise. Then you should still get it consistently enough anyway. Enough, I guess. And yeah, definitely consistently enough. Stingers, you cannot hit multiple pots with this whatsoever, it's always only a single pot. So it's rather slow, but you can get in and out there fast at least, so it's still not the end of the world if it happens. And yeah, that is the boss matchups. Let's talk about night waves with this. Most noteworthy ones here are of course Gorilla Rush. This is a really nice filter weapon for Rush because it can hit multiple chumps at the same time, also weaken Goldies that are passing at the same time. Does not have range though, so does need to move forward quite a bit to hit as much as it can. So whenever you're doing that, also make sure to not overstay your welcome there, prioritize your safety. Unless you have Booyah or Inkjet or something like that, then you might be able to play more aggressively. Because then you can just pop that special when you're being targeted. However, this is overfishing stuff, so if you're doing like say freelance and you're not in wave 3 yet, then prioritize your safety still. Because you kinda wanna use the specials after someone dies ideally. Always when you get aggro if you can help it. But yeah, if you have to, then still do it by all means. Not risk losing the wave ever. They are hard enough as this. Gorillas, your job is of course small fries. Position close to the gorilla, hit them all. And also hit some preemptively maybe if the gorilla is approaching from the right angle. If you're doing it right, you can also hit the gorilla at the time, although that is only some hit damage. No, low DPS and all. And of course, Mudmouth, this goes without saying, I guess, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Comes in small fries. Cohocks only when there's literally no better weapon in the comp for them. Most of the time there will be, and then you can just bump the golden Mudmouth and let someone else do Cohocks. Not then, you know what to do. Above them, and someone else will probably also help to get rid of them a bit faster, which will be cool. Yeah, that is everything I have to say about the Tri-Slosher. Splattershot Nova, medium weight shooter, 30 damage per shot. The painting pattern does paint quite wide, but also quite spotty. It's not ideal for flopper zones that might struggle to cap them solo sometimes. And feel free to use a bomb to get better coverage, make it a little bit easier, or have a teammate help. 30 damage means you're not one-shotting small frays, you are not one-shotting anything really, except the revive pretty much. Pots are exactly 2 shots. That's nice at least. So yeah, this is a different damage value than in by the way, it's slightly higher. And we're grateful for them for doing that. So this weapon is a bit of a meme. Here, look at this accuracy. Saw that? missed random shots on the steelhead. Though the steelhead one cycle, it is rather inconsistent as it turns out. You are not super close to them. Of course defeats the purpose of having a long range weapon. If I'm like this close, then it's consistent. If I'm like actually anywhere near max range, then you are basically a stormtrooper. And same problem with fish sticks, you're not even one-shotting them and you have very shoddy accuracy. Annoying, but still it's good for you to prioritize them anyway, because you do have the range to come from the ground, which only very few weapons actually have. Yeah, make sure to take your time with that, because you will be forced to be taking your time. Yeah, right, DPS, I forgot to say DPS, but it's exactly 300, and that means it's tied with Jet Squelcher for lowest DPS shooter. But the difference is Jet Squelcher has more range and, for the most part, better numbers and better accuracy, of course. So yeah, this is just the worst shooter, it is what it is. But it is a shooter, and shooters are never bad. I mean, yeah, as long as the weapon set around it is fine, he will be fine, let's say. That is all I have to say about this. Dynamo Roller is the only heavyweight roller, and there will be a whole lot to say about this. First up, painting patterns. Pretty wide coverage, but doesn't paint its feet like all the other rollers, unfortunately. Just the wall paint, you can also do this thing, very much like all the other rollers. We have a vertical flick as well, which behaves exactly as you'd expect here. The vertical coverage, that's a little bit... I'm painting fish sticks. Aim high, and hopefully it will be dripping down enough. Yeah, it can be a little bit inconsistent. And ink usage, it's always 20% per flick exactly. Doesn't matter whether vertical or horizontal. Oh, okay, apparently I refilled a bit there. But yeah, it's exactly 20% every time. After bomb, you have one the half flicks. That the half flick is not doing anything. Demonstrate rolling a bit as well. Ink usage, whenever you roll, you wanna be rolling a lot with this, in fact. Well, as most notably you see killing Cohocks here. The roll is 400 damage, that is your strongest attack even. Use it as much as you can. And while doing that, watch the ink tank, you don't wanna, like, off guard with suddenly having no more paint at an enemy right in front of you, and no more ink, sorry. Something that you also saw here is a refilled by standing still. It works for all rollers and is especially important for this one. Nothing you can do is jump while rolling, then you will not refill, but your ink will not be consumed as well. I'm jumping a lot here and I'm not using up my ink. As soon as I'm actually staying on the ground, it will be used. Yeah, you need every little drop of it, so whenever you're actually hitting nothing and have no reason to paint either or anything, do some jumps, why not? Alright, so rolling dudes for 100 damage, that is your main attack. Let's talk about the other attacks. Horizontal flick, 200 damage max, but only from relatively close range. You see that wasn't 200. This was 200. There are really only two uses for this. One use is to simply start your roll, of course. The fastest way to get rolling. The other way is scrappers. Or lids when you're on top of them. And you have this combo. You've horizontal flick it at once and then you roll into it. Then it's dead. Yeah, that is the horizontal flick. Then there is the vertical flick. It deals 300 damage. A pretty long range. See that here? The 300. The 300. The 300. Now it's 150. This is like the limit here. Hasn't always been like that. They did patch that in recently. one of the very few, if not even the only change to Salmon Run weapons in that patch, not sure. Do not know why they did it, and it feels like it was an oversight because they did actually buff the Dynamo PvP in that patch. Yeah, we have a really long-ranged, powerful vertical flick now, and you can do some interesting things with that. You could just snipe eels from afar with that. Of course, any steal that gets triggered ever as long as you are ready to get that out in time. Of course, I feel like a complete idiot for doing a solo freelance 9's run with Dynamo without actually knowing that. Because right before that rotation came up, they did this patch. Yeah, I didn't know, so I played Dynamo in a way that I would always get up close to the steelheads in order to kill them when there really was no need to. However, even with that, it's still a very unflexible weapon, and they did absolutely nothing about its ink hunger, its mobility and stuff, which are just really bad. Quite literally, the glass cannonist of glass cannons. Now let's talk about some other bosses. Fish sticks, not really worth talking more about. It's absolutely horrible. I mean, you can hit a few of them with this. You really don't wanna climb them either, really. You just wanna paint them at the very most, but even that you kinda don't wanna do because there are many other things you can do, most likely. If you ever happen to get like pestered by fish stick paint, and try to get like right next to it. If you stand right next to the pole, then that is where they cannot paint. So that is where you can have your paint, that is where you can jump out of into safety, hopefully. Helpful with all weapons, but this of course, when push comes to shove. Other bosses, Drizzler, same as the other rollers. You just flick at it once and get stuck into it. Another thing you can do when they are actually jumping, you can snipe him, like you can hit him once with a vertical flick, and then camp their jump with a roll. When they land on you, they will just die. Do 1,000,000 damage per second. At Slamonlets, what you're of course really good at with them is to trigger them. Just roll forward under them, there's hardly anything that can go wrong. Then back out. Over actually killing them, you do need to have enough ink for that. Because you do need to do that full flick and then a surround to them, and then the survive after that is grabs you. Yeah, it's not really a big deal or anything, just something to note. Like, do not trigger it with your last lick of ink and then expect to kill it or anything. Make sure you have enough. The bosses are a big shot, of course. Big shot matchup is really great. You just stand in front of it as it approaches the cannon and it will just pretty much delete itself. And you can also do what you can do with the other rollers. Just flick straight at it and hug it and also go down really fast, same thing. You are, however, not too great at actually managing the big shot cannon for a whole wave. If there's scrappers or eels or stuff like that coming, you on mouse, of course. Wait, no, not mouse, but yeah, scrappers most notably, then you. But yeah, if the enemies are right, like just big shots do stuff, you can just delete them and this extra basket. That'll be nice. Right, aside from fish sticks, there are of course the older statics that are really big problems for this game as well. However, the Stinger matchup, it did get better in this game. I've already explained this at the Splat Roller, so check out that for more details, but you can actually roll Stingers if you have like the right surfaces around them. Then you can kill them really fast, but your short version is you need a wall or you need some high ground or low ground, anything like that. And then it should usually be really easy to kill the Stingers. And to some extent it works on flat ground as well, but that I do not quite understand yet. Distant. Right, that I believe. Yeah, right, no, eels. Eels you can actually just roll into from like the opposite direction to other movement. So let's say this thing here is the eel head. You're letting that pass you and then intercept the tail, which is right here, and pull it really fast. Also works with our rollers, and Dynamo it's more important because it's don't you have to do anything with it. And then independently of bosses or anything, just don't be too greedy with your ink or anything. Whenever you use bombs, then don't use the main weapon at all. Just chill and make sure before you use the bomb you have paint around you that you can refill and chill in. Yeah, patience. You need a lot of patience with this thing. It's not easy to use this well. And even if used well, it's a very vulnerable weapon. Some say it is the worst. Yeah, it has some of the biggest downsides imaginable in this game, but also some of the biggest upsides. Alright, and speaking of those upsides, let's talk about night waves. First up is Seeking. Stand in front of the Goldie, move slightly left and right as it hits you. You will be deleting that Goldie very freaking fast. If you can manage to do that anywhere near the basket, then you're gonna get really high Golden Egg scores as well. And that is of course dependent on Goldie paths. But for those that are not near basket, of course you still need to get snatches or other things. Yeah, this is pretty much the most broken Seeking weapon that exists. I only wish Seeking was well better in this game. It was better in Splatoon 2 actually. It was nerfed a little bit by the fact that lessers are just always spawning from the shore and then also out of the Goldie Gusher. In the old game, they only came out of Gushers that didn't have the Goldie exactly. So what you would do is like start with opening the far Gushers, so these lessers will take a while till they even bother you, and it's a much better time. However, in freelance, the new Seeking is much better, of course, and that is really nice. Because freelance Seeking, it was a problem in Splatoon 2, let me tell you. But alright, enough about those memories. More night waves. Rush plays the same as all other rollers. For the weapons in the rotation that are not the Dynamo, make sure to chip the Goldie a bit. But the Goldie actually dies. You know, you're dealing 400 damage, got 500 HP. You really don't want the Dynamo to be pushed back. They of course do not roll too aggressively forward and anything, because you will be refilling more. Just stand as still as possible. Hold the stick ever so slightly forward, like this. Less than that. Yeah, the chumps will just red. And whenever there is like nothing actually coming at you, then release the control stick and that should let you out of it. Show it again. Like so. And there's actually really low delay there. Make use of that. After flicking, of course, the delay is very high. You're seeing that right here. Not after rolling. That is nice. Realize this one is interesting. You are of course for the most part on small fry duty. However, you can also deal a lot of damage to gorillas easily. First up, for helping with stun. Let's say the gorilla is coming like straight, moving like straight at you, whether you're targeted or not. What you can do is just do a vertical flick, and chances are you will hit the tail with that, like from right in front of it. It is not super obvious, but good to know. You can deal a lot of damage to it that way, so it should be easy to stun once it's actually close to the team. Then once it is stunned, you happen to have some kind of high ground to be standing on. Like this here, like say this is the top platform on spawning grounds near basket. from there you can actually roll into the stunned gorilla and kill it really fast. That doesn't work on every map and all positions. And you can also do something with jumping at the gorilla when you're a bit lower. Against some high ground. I believe this works on Sockeye Station. Well, don't quote me on that. But yeah, feel free to try it whenever it might come up. Yeah, Mudmouth, prioritize Goldies, but also feel free to deal with the smaller lessers. Seems to be much better value than throwing bombs at them. Nothing too special here. And Mothership is a bit interesting. The whole Dynamo cannot really be considered a good weapon for Mothership, just because of how slow it is. Slow animations, bad ink usage, you name it. Just the same problems as in most other waves, really. However, it's still perfectly workable. There are a few things you wanna pay attention to when playing. First up, changes quite a bit depending on whether you're dealing with a big or small tide, really. Because the bigger it is, the more lessers there will be, and that means you can always feel free to spend some time to delete lessers around when the mothership is approaching the basket, roughly. So that people are not gonna get bothered by it and can get those eggs easily. Like whenever it's repelled and stuff. And on the other hand, on small tides, like say some really broken high tides, on those, when the team can keep up with the Chinooks well enough that there will actually be no lessers whatsoever, or barely any, you then wanna do is really just grab golden eggs and not even use the Dynamo Roller at all. Because the animations are really slow and they waste many seconds. Really important for overfishing. But yeah, in whatever case that is actually not a given, that the team will just shoot everything, then the animations are slow. This thing does have really good coverage. You can hit lessers and Chinooks at the same time with this, with horizontal flick. They're painting with it as well. Like, it's not the end of the world. There are many different modes to play this on Mothership, and it might not always be clear what is the correct one, so that is why I went so much into detail here with this. Be creative, and that is all I have to say about the Dynamo. Okay, I actually forgot a few things with the Dynamo, even with how long all of that was. When you first up the mom matchup, there are different options to deal with it. First thing, the most traditional one is to roll against it 3 times for 400 damage each. Normally it's a 2 cycle. It can be made in 1 cycle if you get pressed against... if you are like between the ma and a well and get pressed against it and stuff. But you can do that when you're already rolling. When you're not already rolling, another thing that you can do is flick at it and get stuck in it, similar to other big HP enemies with Aurelis in general. That is probably the fastest way to kill it and the most efficient one for sure. Yeah, if you are not close and cannot get close, then of course still completely fine to use bombs as normally. If you can avoid it, that is really nice. Right, and then the other thing is Cohock charge. It's hard to remember Cohock charge because for the most part it's like really just a glorified day wave. Yeah, so the final word hasn't been spoken yet on whether it's best to have Dynamo inside cannon or outside. Personally, I think it's just because of how like immobile it is. You should generally prefer to put it in the cannon still. It's like really not that fast at collecting eggs, and the cannon should be shooting the Cohocks anyway, so no point in rolling over them. However, near the end of the wave, I would say having a Dynamo clear the Cohocks is probably more powerful than having someone in cannon. Because all or at least most of the bosses should be dead by then. It's just Cohocks, and you can also multitask some eggs with it. You couldn't do if someone were in cannon and also had to refill their bunch and stuff. So yeah, the cleanup, great to have the Dynamo out, could be nice. Right, hopefully that should be all for real now. 1069 Girl is a medium weight shooter with high damage. 85 per shot if no fall off and really low fire rate. The basic shooter paint pattern, but yet due to the low fire rate, the coverage is really slow while paint as well. Painting exactly a line, it works well enough still. Also strafe speed is really slow here, so what I'm gonna say right ahead, use swimming to your advantage. Whenever you actually need to move, swim, jump out of it. Let me remove that paint here so I can actually do it better. Yeah, and something that you also saw right there is it doesn't really paint its feet well. So you do wanna be moving forward into your paint if you can. I mean, hopefully you can. However, don't jump spam ever with this, because you see, the RNG gets really, really bad when you jump, so yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I'm missing so many shots here, but if I'm just standing still, I'm gonna hit of them pretty much. Small frays are overkilled by quite a lot. Jumps are overkilled by quite a lot. Yes, other shooters are typically more efficient at killing jumps, but if you have to, it's not the end of the world still. Against Cohocks you are very efficient, of course. 225 damage here, which is actually a fun fact here, because that is exactly the damage per second that this has. 1 second to kill a Cohock, exactly. Of course, stuff for big HP targets. Also with steelheads you have quite a lot of leeway with actually killing them. Need only exactly 4 shots and you have time for, I don't know what, 7 or something maybe. Yeah, if you're late there, it's fine. You should still try and there's a good chance you might actually get the kill. Really nice. You do have this very much above average range as well to do that. Yeah, there's not much to say about this really. Avoid small frays, try to avoid jumps. But yeah, if you have to hit either of them, like do it for a bit and then go somewhere else. Fine. This being a shooter after all, you can refill, you can be safe. You can find your preferred targets. For fish sticks, of course, you can hit them from the ground easily. Over there's RNG and there's not really much you can do about that. Like I've tried like holding and releasing ZR, but doesn't really look different with the RNG, so whatever. You can experiment with it if you want to. Still, it's a really good weapon for fish sticks, even though you can miss sometimes. Just pay attention. Stingers, you are one-shotting the pods from far away, of course, even with fall off. But the lowest fall off damage is 73 roughly, so yeah. You will never fail to kill a stinger pod, and that is really nice. Okay, that I believe cover everything there's to say about bosses. Get to night waves. Also not to stay here. It is of course really solid at all of them. Not exactly the best at all of them, just like it's not the best in normal waves, but still really good. Very much above average. Really above average. Yeah, on Rush you're one-shotting the jumps, you're dealing really good damage to the Goldie. You have really nice range as well. So pretty much do whatever the team currently needs and you'll be fine. Gorillas, help with the stuns, prioritize DPS, avoid the small fries. Although if the team is completely ignoring them, then try to help still. Yeah, also try to the best of your ability and just make them deal with them because that would be better still. But then on Seeking you're really good to open fire gushers, and whenever the Goldie is out, make it cray. You can do it from pretty much wherever on the map due to your range, so positioning should be pretty easy. You should hopefully get that top every time you have this weapon in the comp. Some others that are not too bad for the job. Right, That's everything about the 0.69 gal. Okay, so this is quite a rotation here. We have the Dynamo and the Nova. The weakest shooter, probably. However, if you remember that episode that I did like very early on in the first season somewhere, the Dynamo and the Dually Squelchers also on this map, I believe. Whatever I said back then about the synergy between these two other weak weapons, like they're literally perfectly covering each other's weakness, so basically together they can be bigger than the sum of their really small parts. But to repeat it a bit, you know that the Nova and the Squelchies, they both have low DPS, so they struggle with HP targets. Dynamo's really good against those. You can just roll over the Cohocks and stuff, and good boss killer as well. But then what Squelchies and Nova are good for, of course, stingers and the things that specifically annoy the Dynamo a lot, can hunt flyfish well as well. Because no one really cares about you using your ink for bombs. In fact, that is the most efficient use of your ink, so yeah, there's just perfect synergy between them. And of course we have the gal here. This really nice independent generalist for anything. And then the Tri-Slosher, which is also another low DPS weapon that's mobile at least, and it has AoE, so the effective DPS is higher than its single target DPS for sure. You can just bunch of fire X thrown closer. That. Anyway, this should overall stay fine. And then another thing about the Dynamo specifically that I mentioned, since its vertical flick is now actually kinda insane. I do not know if that was intentional or did it by accident. Yeah, the 300 damage range on the vertical flick, it's ridiculously long. And what this tells me is you maybe can use this as an artillery kind of thing from the battlement. Like to hit both things outside of it and inside as well. Lids most notably. You can just snipe lids with this probably. Without even having to get under them, as long as you have the high ground. Yeah. I will be sure to try that out a bunch. I hope you will be too. Some games. Always, if you find this stuff informative or entertaining or otherwise helpful, please tell your friends, like, comment, whatever else. There we go, that's our first game. Huh. Group of regulars immediately, you're up late. Nothing with the Tri-Slosher. The paint here. Oh, nice, 2 flyfish immediately. I'm actually getting both kills I didn't even try. Nice. Then of course with the Tri-Slosher I dare to smell fresh. This is just typically me. Okay, we got next spawns over there. Everyone's looking at that, I'll go somewhere else. Die. Hint on that zone. This 2 north active. Died. Wait, was that died? The other, there it is. Push over there. Got it. For me. Be the second player. Gonna take that mic and bring it back. The swap paint got really bad. Fix that a bit here. Get to play with the Dynamo and Namatide. Try the artillery thing right here, right now. It is right. Just did that. I'll just really not roll on this, other players already there. Like, it's just these guys. Don't have too bad, makes it not chill. Dang it, I want reflick, alright, look at it. Get some lessers again. On my left. Empty. Some average freelancers here to make it less empty. Right here, give me these. Nova, is it the better shooter? It is the better shooter. Wait. Could be rush, but should be scary. It's not rush. Alright, we win. It's open. Right, it's Dynamo seeking actually. Let's go. That was the egg throw. Ugh. I did not notice I wasn't greening, my bad. Just use this too. Wow. So I died twice in Seeking. This is just like in that play game where I also had this weapon. There's to like around me, this is embarrassing. It's actually work on this X. Good. Right, anyway, that will be the first game here. I'll catch you in the next lobby. Right, second game with Oh, remix, I believe we've played in the previous episode before, actually. A name as well. I'm not gonna kill that. Probably out of reach then. I do not actually know what the range of the back cannon here is. Next to just winging it, I guess. Because even after half a year. I guess Fission is also my least played map, so there's that as well. The first 3 months it was only available for one night in Europe, which was annoying. After that I simply had other priorities than to grind out Fission. This is how I do not know how this map's correct charge works. Got good snatches there. Sort of. Got the fish stick cannon. Probably not reached that either, right? Again. Didn't hit it. Do not want a cannon. So, get that big shot then. Let's try this again. Really get like nice targets to deal 300 damage too. Again, just game being too empty. Coming up, you say. Oh, dang it. That did not go as planned. I fixed it, but that then dead to that. That's the us that maybe part died. Can you rev me please? Has a lot more range than that right there actually. No idea how I survived that, but I did. Alright. I will trick that Rizzler. That Dota. Damage. Is that gonna kill me? We do get to dodge the Nova for now. Oh, that is High Tide Knight again. Alas. The annoying one to start. Can we like... We stun on this? Yes we can. No one wants to kill it. What's that attack really doing? A lot of nothing. Energy is horrendous. Love that. It's done. Sure then. Ugh. Oh no. Any more Tri-Slosher? Small fries, please. Do not have enough eggs here. One shot. We are one short, because no one knows how to play gorillas. Right, see you in the next lobby. Right, that sure took some recovery. We are finding triple hazard level max badge. Insane. Recognize anyone here? I don't think I do. Not. Another night with not high tech this time though. Are here gushes? No. Rush. All the fun waves here. Ascent rush. Boxing for a bit. Got these eggs in. What's the whole idea here? Goldie, okay, good. One's grabbing, I guess, extra stabilizers. Move that direction. Yeah, we should be good anyway. Something really crazy happens here, but some damage to the Goldie so it actually dies. Again. So that we definitely cannot wipe. Oh, high tech day, not a good weapon. Would be fun. Hit me. I'm definitely guilty with this, but looks like I got already beaten to it. Ugh, nice Drizzler. Nice aim. Nice armor, but still dead. A nice comboing there. Yeah, some nits do hit you and some don't. Really strange. Ah! Second shot on the torp. I think there's a lot of here. Oh, this thing. It's hard to revive you behind the lid. That is a new one, I've never done that before. This death average, I guess it's unsalvageable for now. You do. Just my life. But this is the third game and the third height at night. Is this correct? Right, it's Mudmouth. I've been rushed just for the memes. This is not a new one. This happened before at different angles, I guess, but still. I'll just wear this one. Two of them gotta use them on the Goldies. Do the small fries and the chums. Dynamo doesn't have to. You Goldie. Nope. Goldie. Thank you. The 63, that is our magical number for today, I guess. Getting the rush again, probably not much right here. 34. An interesting seat if it were higher hazard than it is. Just starting the rotation. A potential here. Right, see you in the next lobby. Okay, number 4, and we are here with the first group again. Guess we are on a similar timer because only multiple minutes long games. Mine. Not mine, apparently. I'm almost closer. Unless it's here. Okay, this is very likely mine. It's also not mine. Over here. Whistler. Heal. Whistler will not be looking at me, but that's fine, I'm ready anyway. So for this one. I'm host, by the way. stick and testing annoying. Being taken care of. Alone with your lessers. Oh, we're rolling the Novas, regrettably. Not really regrettably, but still, this weapon is just a meme. And Trooper gun. I'll only stop making fun of it if above it. It's new. They're killing everything before I can even find it. This is new. Exactly what I wanna kill with this anyway. Damage there. Those. What goes here then? Another stinger. Net. Is following me, so go back the long way. This big shots it looks like. Just stay right there. Got my movement there. I could have been back at basket a little bit earlier. For the throw. Got 2 wells of Dynamo for Type Knight. Night waves today. People are already here, don't need to buy this one. The thing about snatchers. Ah, yeah. That. Actually, these X right there are optimizable. But Inkjet is looking at that. Oh. This thing is the also kills the Cohock, so Dynamo. Oh, 71. That might be an Explosion-less wave PB for me. Night waves today. Yeah, it's basically a shot still. Yeah, that will be that. I'll catch you in the next game. Right, I'm back with another game. We are playing with Spacey Remnant, this guy. Someone else. First, a lot of killer whales today. My third already, I believe. Mudmouth games. This guy just to themselves there. Get the eel. Fine. Of course I'm not killing it because I have a Splattershot Nova. That's fine, every damage is good. Accuracy on this is so infuriating, I guess. Yeah, that is why we call it the Stormtrooper gun. Can we actually kill this fish stick? Oh, that was actually somewhat fast. May or may not want to go for that sting. Okay, they got it before me. Nice. But these steelheads are a bit of a problem here. Anyway, this will be clear. Of course, daily reminder, do not try to lure everything on low tide, it's never gonna work anyway. Just kill things, control the middle, throw back eggs. You're gonna be good. Also use the flanks left and right. Probably have to get like past this whole ball of thing in the middle. Yeah, don't have to show anything of that here. So it was just a chill life all around. Get to play low tide again. This early. Do this with damage. Dynamo just swapped that kill, but that's fine. Dynamo's not gonna get many kills anyway. This pattern there is looking like we kinda want these to move that are possible. That you Tri-Slosher, I'm gonna hit that. Gonna bring this to basket because we are actually far away from quota still. We get too cute with killing that far. I might die. Okay, I didn't die. That was super risky. Yo, that was something. Hard to dodge the missiles there. Do that under pressure. Let's hit basket, please. Almost got directed by that. Right. Oh, that's just triple low tide. Hi Dynamo. Means what I will be probably doing a lot is rolling underlets. Now the Cohock's on the way. Something that isn't easy with this. Here we are whaling these two stingers, or one of them anyway. What's happening here? Did I take the scrapper? Yes, I did. Info for this. see if we can do some sting attack here. Actually, this that might help too. But didn't hit this anyway though. Just making tank. Okay, still have some. Booyah's nice too. Rain is coming here. A big shot. I'll get ready for that. With the flyfish exhaust here. Nice, they killed the flyfish for me. That. Nice. Was here just in time, and that is quota. Wouldn't count. We win. That was the 5th game. Yeah, and still no Kozuna. Anyway, we'll see you in the next lobby. May or may not find him. Wait, that's not Kozuna, it's Horrorboros, never mind. Yeah, next lobby. Right, will it be the Boris game? Oh, actually same team. Right, you know what, I will try to stay with these if they choose to stay. Unless we're finding Boris now. Okay, so this is 4 low tides in a row. Charge. But not really clear whether Dynamo is better in cannon or off cannon. I guess on this map specifically, in cannon sounds better because the Cohocks are never really gonna reach basket anyway, and the god Nexa dropped you probably just enough fire with a cannon anyway to kill the Cohocks. Other weapons are just bringing them back faster than this silly Dynamo. Would be my educated guess anyway. I'm gonna flex it anyway. See what these diffs that are happening here. Oh, this is on me. Someone can get it. That works. Ah! Okay, cannon killed the Fluffy. Fortunately, that completely the paint here. What can you do? Might be host here, I'm in slot 1 anyway. Doesn't feel like I'm host though. These eggs aren't super fast. Ah. What the fuck? What? Anyway, near the end of the wave, Dynamo is really strong here in the middle. Yeah, parts of X dead. Growing. Really, you wanna have all bosses killed and no one cannon anymore at that point. But where are they? Ah, yeah. Someone just denied me the steal. Let's kill. No one wants the scrapper. Do it then. I wanted to move for the stinger, but not. Okay, no one wants that either. I have no idea what the team are doing. Guess. Just kite around us and what we are. I got bitten again. Ah, nice, thank you. Shot somewhere. Is that right? I didn't yet. Yeah, it was right. We especially that. Bit of multitasking here, firing and egging. That's that, we got our 3 big shots. The fly fish. We are also winning that Yoink duel against the Snatcher. Wow, that's a lot of... That's right at basket. Yeah, definitely not host, you see how slow that was. Someone else. I may or may not be aware, I have no idea. Running strike for yet another low tide, 5 out of 6. We get another egg, there we go. This way. There's actually nice little stuff here, except we did kill them all, but it's still fine. Ah, nice. Nice, thanks Dynamo. Yeah, I'll just extract both of these statics and then the steelhead as well. Spawn camped by Mo. Not spawn camped I guess, but that just was there and I had absolutely no idea. Just kill this early so it doesn't bother the egg piles. Oh, I actually got the 1 cycle there, I didn't expect I would. Will be getting quota. Clearing here. No one near being able to throw that egg, I just get less stun and the Drizzler. It's inevitably looking at me with how close I was to it. Oh, Blessers are blocking the Torp though. Oh well, nice movement. Hey, I've got triggering Boris, as expected. Revive me, dang it. Wait, I got 1 slush of paint. Dream of horror. Definitely no Pokemon cry like that, ever. There was some good damage there. Let's trying this with a high DPS long range weapon. Perfect. The Drizzler Torp, I'm ready. Shot waves, careful. That's the second one. Snipe him like that. We get that on the fly fish. Damn rain. Out. Because of the rain. Oh my, it turns out my computer just crashed right in the middle of that. Wow, nice banners. Like that. My computer just crashed near the end of that Boris fight. Yeah, I of course still left it in the episode because perfectly good video. But yeah, we won, but only in the very last second. Forgot what scouts we got. Play one last game here. From that should be good for this episode. We got another familiar face here with Hina. Did play some that big run last weekend. Yeah, that... the introduction that already made it worth it to switch back to the Split Sister Spanner. Right, this needs one more bomb, I'll deliver it. Half of you is like so late now, apparently. Yeah, this is actually just out of rotation. My sleep schedule is I don't know where, so just record that episode right at start. Oh! Oh, that could was some better. What is that name? Bull Pit? I know they must either be happy or very unhappy, I don't know. Apparently there are pits for bulls. Well, low tide because why not? I'm happy with that. Sometimes we barely get to show flow tides at all, and it's a problem for people, so happy whenever I can show it, of course. Well, I'll just do it here so I can get the fish immediately. Over here. 2 up at a team. Or 2 of them even. Fly fish, nice. Like some eggs there. That just aren't good, they're coming from front. Knife King is going after that stinger. Yeah, and they have the go. Perfect. Was gonna considering assisting if they have a bad weapon, but they do not. Ah, dang it. That's a hard one to get. Try that again. There. The sloths are just an endangered species in my games. Good reason, of course. We hate them. This egg would have been optimizable, jokes on me, but I mean we do not have time. So actually no. Just like the min throw range. Oh, a 50, let's go. And more low tide. This low tide day here. DPS low tide or what? It's not really low DPS. The low DPS weapons and Dynamo still. Say Dynamo is just extreme DPS, like either low or high. I guess the way to put it. Right here. Get through all of that stuff. Finger. That's a little bit annoying. Oh, hello there. Ah, missiles. Okay, I didn't die. Right, that actually brings the car to basket. Nice trick there, let me clip that. It wasn't possible in all patches. Right, this is too much going on here, I will like not fight that and just back home. My friend alone, thank you. Can I like fall off the slit? No. Worth a try, I guess. Nope, still not. Gets away with its life. Alright, that will be that anyway. Will be the episode. I will see you on the next drop, which will be... Alright, I think it's that by rotation with a Sniper. Stamp and the glue gas. I keep forgetting what the last one is. I'll be there, and I hope you will be too. Thank you for watching.